And we're live.
Hey, folks, evening. Oh, goodness. Feels like this is like the second Wednesday this week. This week is just like dragging by. Goodness gracious.
I think I have too many things open in my computer. It's like
yeah, you're lagging a little bit, I think. Is that what that is? So hey folks, how are you? So we got a bunch of folks in here already. I think 6.
I'm gonna reset my StreamYard.
We got up to about 8 or so. There's some big channels that are live right now that I haven't seen live in the past. So I don't wonder if we're going to have as many folks in here. So we got Bigfoot Silver Hide and Seeker. Welcome. Nisi, Freehandly Maid. Welcome, Madame. Jandera was in here a little bit earlier, said that she's not going to be able to stay in here, but wanted to drop in and say hello. So much appreciated from down under. Appreciate it, Jandera. Some of our Missouri buddies, Simply Jan, Homestead. So Jan, welcome. Who else we got in here? Betty Jean Holson from Minnesota. Tina Ladybug. I don't know. You have to rate my Minnesota accent, Betty Jean. Is that good?
It was not good.
It's not good. Who else we got in here? Michael Harris, always glad to see you, sir. And then we got our buddy from Canada. So, hey, Roland, getting it done north of 7. So, this has been a tough week. The last couple of weeks has been kind of tough. Hold on, I gotta mute this.
Still trying to get all my stuff set up on my side.
Yeah, I've got an echo. We've been, and I think it's all around because we've been watching kind of our watch hours. Watch hours have like really dipped in the last month. Rick was talking about this today. And I think people have just gone back to work because I am just absolutely overwhelmed right now at work. And so it's just like hopping from one thing to the next to the next. So, folks have seen a lot less of me in the last 3 weeks. There's just no way that I can get enough time to go and check out folks' channels.
Yeah, I closed YouTube. I don't know if Dad still has it open. Probably. He's got like 4 screens over there that he doesn't know what to do with.
It's gone. Was I echoing?
Yeah, Paula and somebody else said Freehandly said that you sounded weird. So,
I don't know.
Hey Tina Ladybug, how are you? Hey Kyle Randall, how are you, bud?
Kyle, how are you, my friend? I'm going to try to bring out because I usually just mute it. That's how I set it up every week.
Yeah, Simply Jen said you're good now. So yeah, Papa was saying, in relation to the view hours, we got 2, buddy, and so it kind of gives like a small breakdown of each channel, stuff like that we visit. And it looks like a lot of people at about the same time we started dropping. Ours was dropping and theirs was dropping at the same time. So I think a lot of that has to do with just the fact that a lot of people are going back to work. A lot of people are going back to work, and a lot of they were working from home, or maybe it was while all this stuff was going around and there was a whole bunch of uncertainty that people were really trying to our chicken videos went insane during the height of this pandemic, and now even they're starting to kind of level off a little bit. I don't know if it's necessarily people are losing interest in it, but maybe people have realized it's a lot easier to get your groceries from Walmart. So they might not be as good a quality, but it's easier.
Yeah. So Jan said it was great to meet you, Rick. Jan, it was great to meet everyone up in Missouri, as brief as it was. I'm not going to get into that's a whole other story. So, I went up there with the best of intentions to meet everybody up in Missouri and that surrounding area. It just didn't work out the way that I had expected it to. Long story, but was able to spend a little bit of time with some of you and had a great time. Got to meet Paula and Kyle and Gene and Joyce Morris. Met Jan. I just had a great time for the brief time that I was there, and so you guys did. Hopefully, this is a recurring event, and I can talk Lala into maybe going next year too, because coincidentally that meetup coincided with a Cusca Kiko goat sale that was also last weekend. So I could have actually gone to the meetup on Saturday. Technically, no, this didn't work out. This would have been even a more epic debacle than it was for me. And then they had a goat sale over in Oklahoma on Sunday. I could have gone to that.
Simply Jan says you give great hugs.
I've been accused of that before. Little Richter
Frogfoot Holler, trying to get everything done and watching others' videos is rough this time of year. Yeah, I mean 100%. I mean, this is the time of year where the grass here in Florida, especially with the kind of grass that we have, it gets very, very difficult to cut grass every other weekend and keep up with everything, do the videos, edit the videos. And Papa, he says that we don't do a lot of the strenuous labor during the summer, and he's very accurate. But there's certain things you just can't get away with. I was telling him we had a horrible windstorm come through last night at about 1:00 in the morning. Lala asked me if it woke me up, and I said, yeah, it woke me up. It woke me up at about 12:30. But I walked out, went to the property today after I got home from work and realized that the metal roof on the buck barn got peeled back and actually ripped the tin roof. So that'll be something, regardless if it's 90 or 100 degrees outside this weekend, that'll be something that's going to have to get tended to. So I feel you. Working outside and getting things done around the farm takes precedent before videos.
Yeah, we try to push as much of that labor work off till the winter time as we can. And so we're kind of coming into that point where it's upper 80s to low 90s every single day, and it will be this way until mid-September. And it's just brutal time to be working outside.
Michael Harris said he was at Cusca. How did that? How was it, buddy? I know with all the social distancing and stuff like that. I mean, I know some of those type of things are pretty scarce.
That might be the first one since
since all this
has started coming back. I understand because I was watching a video from Bodart Kiko's over in Texas, and he said they had a $5,400 doe sold at that sale. That's a hefty sale price for a doe. So.
Best Life up north, they're saying that they're just now getting to do outside projects. So that's the opposite. It's the opposite down here. I mean, up there it's you're fighting that snow during the wintertime, and you can go outside and you can work for a very short period of time, but it's get right back inside. We are in the 40s here in Wisconsin. Yep. Nope. We are very, very different worlds, Betty Jean. It's up north. You're battling the snow and trying to get things done, without freezing your hands off. And down here during the winter time, I mean, in the morning, it might be a little bit rough getting going. But you get a cup of coffee in you, and by the time it's 10:30, 11 o'clock, cold here at 11 o'clock is like 50 degrees. So 60 is usually, if it's like January, the beginning of January, you're looking at 60 degrees at 1, 2 o'clock. And that's great working. During the summertime, August, what is it, Dad? Dog days of summer. It's rough. It's rough in August. August is awful.
That's when I do all my garage projects because the workshop is completely covered, and I just open up both ends of the workshop. I put this big old shop fan in there, and it sucks air all the way through, and then I just work out there in the shade all summer.
And still comes back to the house drenched in sweat. And that's in an insulated garage, both doors open, and a big shop fan blowing past them with hurricane gusts of wind. So
Frogfoot Holler says, nope, don't want to deal with snow. Well, brother, I can appreciate that 100%. I moved to Florida in 1985, and I got out of the military in 92. The Navy said, we'll send you back up to Western New York. And I said, I think I want to stay right here. So, no, I've driven in snow probably 2 or 3 times in the last 35 years. And in one of those instances, I nearly ran off the road and said, I've lost my driving skill at this. Not that I had too much to begin with, because I moved away from New York when I was 18 years old. So I never really had good development anyway.
I'm still yet to drive in the snow. Papa let me go down Car Valley one time. He wouldn't even let me drive down the hill. He let me go down Car Valley in his truck right next to Jimmy's house, and which is flat, no hills in that part. And man, I tell you what, that was the scariest I've ever been. It was frightful because you got to sit there and really baby that pedal, or you're just gonna sit there and. So
folks, we got Lee's Arkansas Bound has joined.
Hey, how are you?
Eva from Highland Homesteads joined us. Flour, eggs, and yeast. Welcome. Lee's Arkansas Bound. You guys ever get your shirts? I didn't hear anything back from you. You should have got them like a month ago. Flour, eggs, and yeast. My husband takes care of our garden and everything. I just do the baking of cakes inside. Lala's it's not that she doesn't like to cook. She's actually a pretty decent cook. She just doesn't care to cook. So I probably enjoy cooking more than she enjoys the cooking, and the preservation and all of that. So that's probably more towards me. So it's just, that probably contributes to just not having enough time in the day. Michael Harris says, no problem, social distance, people respected each other. So he's talking about the Cusca sale that was up in Oklahoma. Yep. Well, Michael, did you bring anything home? Did you bring anything back from Oklahoma back to the Lone Star State?
Hey Alicia, how are you? Alicia's saying that her garden is taken off. I've seen their garden. They got a pretty cool little setup. They got some blue bins. They don't have a channel. It's her and her husband don't have a channel, but that's Ed Hall. That's my partner in crime at work. But they've taken 1x3s because of the price of wood is just being so insane. They got some pressure treated 1x3s that they got a hold of at a Home Depot, and then they've taken 50-gallon blue barrels, cut them in half, and that's what their raised gardens are made out of. So, and they got a lot of stuff planted. Saying garden is taking off, tomatoes on all the plants.
Paula says, imagine driving in northern Alaska in the snow. No, thank you.
I don't want to imagine.
I visited Alaska. Lala and I went up there probably been 5 years or so ago, and it's probably one of my favorite trips that we've ever taken. Had an absolute blast. Went on a cruise out of Seattle, and then went all the way up to Anchorage on the cruise ship. I think it was like 5 or 6 port of calls. One of them was Glacier National Park, and had an absolute blast. But I would not drive up there under any circumstances. One of the highlights of that trip is we took forget the name of it, the red and white. It's a train that goes out of, I believe, Anchorage. I might be wrong on that, but it goes up into the Yukon, and it actually goes right to the Canadian border and then turns around and comes back to the coast. It's pretty cool. So, but still, I would let other people do the driving. I would not be doing that. Yeah,
as far as living there, I mean, that'd be a really cool place to visit, especially in August. Yeah, as far as living there, yeah, I have zero interest. I'd rather watch it on Alaska's last
the wilderness
frontier or something like that. Yeah, I'd rather watch that on History Channel. I think that's awesome. So
Macy says, I drove in the snow this year for the first time since high school. I mean, only 30 plus years ago. I didn't wreck the truck. Woohoo! Yeah, that's a skill. I mean, those folks that drive in the snow every single year, my hat's off to you, because it's a very gentle skill that you evolve over your life with experience. It's not
hey,
something
Wanda,
you can.
Louisiana style. How are you?
I don't think that's something you can really be taught. You have to do it. You got to practice it, and it's just experience is what allows you to drive safely in snow. So
Yeah.
Leeds, Arkansas bound video comes out tomorrow. How about that for timing then? So all right, well, outstanding. I'll keep an eye out for that. Frogfoot Holler. I was a truck driver over the road for 16 years. I've driven in the snow many times and still believe that snow is meant to keep Southerners in the South. Well, it works in this kid's case.
And I'm good. I'm good with it. Yeah, I have. I mean, I lived a lot, or I visited a lot as a kid, up north. But now that I've gotten older, I really like the Southern heritage that's down here and the way of living. You go up there and things change drastically. So
depends on where you're at.
that is very true.
Depends
That
on
is
where
very
you're
true.
at.
Like, you got Nina and Papa. You got Nina and Papa. They live upstate New York, and
they live in a very, very ultra conservative part of the western part of New York, which is by far one of my favorite parts until you get up to the lakes, and then the life world changes up there again too. So
it turns blue again.
Boone Child, welcome, Boone. Wanda, Louisiana style. Rick already welcomed you in. Yeah, we were talking briefly earlier about, if we have not been to your channel recently, and everybody in here, they're kind of regulars. It's just been really, really, really tough. I mean, I had a little bit of time this morning, tried to do some catching up, but work has just gotten nuts. And I'm assuming that that's kind of across the board as things begin to open up and people kind of get back to normal everyday life. It's just, we get up in the morning, I go to work, and I do not stop. There's been times we don't even eat to go to lunch, and then come home, do the chores, and then it's just not enough time in the day.
Well, if anybody listens to any type of like radio or news or anything like that, I mean, depending on where you live, you'll get either them bashing Florida or you will get them praising Florida. Us here in Florida, we absolutely love our governor, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And whenever they say Florida is open, Florida is, besides Disney World, who still makes you walk around with masked up. Florida is 100% open. So yeah, I mean, everything in Florida has kind of returned back to normal, or some kind of normalcy. It's completely up to you what you do with that. So yeah, it's busy here. So
MB Heritage, welcome. So Michael Harris says April and James Wilson. So he's talking about some goat breeders within the Kiko community, and that's where we got a lot of our. You probably already know this. We already probably have told you. We got a lot of our core breeding stock from April and James, from their two bloodlines, which was Blue Sun buck and a Heslington Sting buck, and then so then we've got many of the does of our foundation breed stock also came from Circle W Ranch up in Virginia.
What did not come from them though?
What's that? Oh, Heat Seeker.
Well, Heat Seeker did not come from them, but neither did these guys.
Oh, well, yeah. Look at that. Look at Rick go into the. He's segueing. So we had some. That's what I said. There's just a mishmash. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. So we didn't even bother doing an agenda because we wouldn't stick to it anyway.
Yeah. Plus, I think Papa really liked the flow of last week, even though there was no agenda. There was nothing to read off of. There was no make sure we cover this. It was just kind of, hey, let's talk.
Just a lot more laid back and kind of gets you guys the ability to kind of interact and talk more and ask us more questions without being fixed to an agenda. Eva says, we love the goats. Well, we love the goats too. Here's the deal with goats, Eva. When we first got the farm, I had no intention. I didn't want goats because I really didn't know a whole lot about goats. Lala wanted goats, but she wanted dairy goats. And once we realized, that to make that really a productive venture, you're out milking those goats a lot, kind of like milking a dairy cow. You're doing it very, very regularly. So she kind of come around from that, and then we moved to really looking at a meat goat herd and which breed we would do. So that's when we started meeting the folks we're talking about earlier with Michael Harris and that whole Kiko goat community.
That's also when Dad started to go into one of the things that he loves most, which is research. And he did a lot of research.
Yeah, we started researching, what are the bloodlines? What's the profit margin? How could we make a profit in meat goats? And so that's kind of what's brought us to where we are. So here, 3 or 4 years into our meat goats, Lala is one of the 4-H livestock advisors for our county, but for goats. So there's several advisors. There's one that does swine, one that does cows, one that does poultry, one that does rabbits. Lala does the goats. So she is the goat expert in the county as it relates to 4-H. So one of the other advisors was getting out of they're moving more toward Brahmas?
Brahma. It's actually the cow that was in the thumbnail.
So they've developed a stock foundation herd of Brahma bulls. And
it's actually kind of cool how they do that.
They're actually breeding those now. So they're getting out of their dairy goat herd to really focus more on cattle. And that brought Lala to ruminating in her head about, well, I could get me a kind of just buy and go dairy herd, which is what she did. So this last weekend, she got her a herd of 8 dairy goats. So it's two. They're all Nigerian dwarfs, so they're all kind of a plug and play goat herd, if you will. 2 bucklings or two breeding bucks and 6.
Yeah, so I got pictures of all of them. She got several does, if I'm not mistaken. All of the does are registered. And then we did get 2 bucks. Now the bucks, one is registered, and then one is what they call commercial. And they're really they're kind of cool right now because we have a whole bunch of bucklings that came off of our breeding season this year, and the bucklings are the same size as the fully mature Nubians.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
Nigerian dwarfs.
Yeah, Lala has pulled all of the babies, so all the babies are pulled after their 90 days now, and so we've got all of the doelings. Those are all in one pen off of their moms. So it's for the first week, it was absolutely horrible. You go out there in the morning and you hear babies screaming from one side, and then the mom is screaming from the other side of the fence, and they're just screaming at each other. We've got all of the bucklings pulled, like Rick was saying. And it's hilarious because some of these are big boys. These are all full-blooded, or I'm sorry, purebred Kiko meat goats, and they're the same size at 90 days old as these 2 and 3 year old bucks.
This is.
You got pictures of them?
Yeah.
Show them the bucks. Those are cute.
I will. This is Peanut. And then Peanut is all the way in the back, and then, yes, Peanut's butter. Her name is Peanut. There you go. Her name is Peanut, the adult doe in the back, and then these are her 2 babies from this year, and then this little girl up front. This is a doe, or this is a buckling right here, but this is a doe, and her name is Butter. So it's actually Peanut's butter.
To give you a frame of reference of these animals, you can't really tell, but if you look in front of them at the cattle panel, those are 4x4 cattle panels. So that little doeling in the foreground is not quite 12 inches tall.
Yeah, very, very short, very small. So this is one of the bucklings, if I'm not mistaken. I think that this one is Warrior. And he's already got pea all over. This is actually pine sap, and then he's got pine sap on his nose and on his mouth. But all that right there is pea. I tell you what, like Einar and Jarl, they got really, really good aim as far as peeing on their chins.
Yeah.
But these things right here, I mean, you can tell they've got some experience peeing in the wind, because that is all pea. And he thinks he just smells absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know all of the names of these Lala, because I mean they've only been on our farm for about a week. This one, if I'm not mistaken, is something Moon. But these are
Moon Spot or something.
Something I don't know. I know this one's something Moon, and I don't know what this one is. But these ones have horns. Lala, I wish she was on here, because she actually told.
She's outside playing with them.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain I am correct, at least from what Lala told me. If you have a naturally polled buck, you cannot breed that with a horned doe, or it will be born as a hermaphrodite.
Yes. Naturally pulled, I think, is what she
said. That's insane. So yeah, she told me that, and I don't know which one this is, but just another one of the does. And then this right here, if I'm not mistaken, is Jackpot. Jackpot is the commercial dairy. And then, like Papa was saying, like we were saying, this buck right here is actually a buckling, and then this right here is a buckling, and both of those are Kikos. They are right over 90 days, right, Dad?
Yeah.
Right past 90 days.
Yep.
And this is like a 2.5, almost 3-year-old buck right here. So our bucklings are the same size as the Nigerian dwarf bucks.
These 2 and 3 year old Nigerian buff or Nigerian dwarf bucks. So
yep.
It's kind of cute. Betty Jean Holson says, "Yuck." Betty Jean, you don't know the half of it. When our Kikos are breeding, so we will put our bucks and our does together at the end of July, which will give us a breeding season. It'll give us a breeding season around January, beginning January 1, and for the time period that they're out there, from right about the time that we're going to put all these together. Now, I don't know how far you think it is from the buck pen up to the house, Rick?
Maybe a football field.
100 yards. I'd say maybe a little longer than that. But
yeah,
those bucks are so ripe because they've been peeing on themselves for a month that you can smell them at the house.
But I tell you what, those ladies love it.
They absolutely. I
told Chelsea I was going to start peeing on my beard.
I wouldn't recommend that.
She said no. Yep. It didn't get very far. She said no.
Yeah, that wouldn't work well.
Just think of how much money you could save on cologne. Go to the bathroom, refill your bottle.
Eva, you said say that again at Lala Farms. Say that again, Rick, about the horns.
So if you have a naturally polled Nigerian dwarf, you cannot breed them with another. It's either you cannot breed them with horned, or you can not breed them with another naturally polled animal, or they will come out as a hermaphrodite.
Meaning they will have organs of
one of these, both of those.
So
yeah.
Lee's Arkansas Bomb says TMI.
Yeah. I think they're referring to the cologne.
Yeah, no,
the natural cologne.
I think they're referring to you peeing on yourself.
Hey, I wouldn't pee on myself. I'd pee in a bottle and then splash it on my face.
But that's when we the first season that we had goats, and we were told by, again, this Kiko community, do not, when you're handling these bucks, wear gloves. And we're like, wear gloves? I'm not wearing gloves. And their rationale was that their oil, their musk that they have on them during this breeding season is so strong and potent that the oil really goes into the pores of your hands and will not come off. It takes weeks to come off. And I'm thinking, this is so much baloney. That just can't be the case. Well, I would trust those old timers and wear gloves by any stretch, because if you get it into your clothes, you're going to have to wash those clothes for weeks before that stench comes out. Those boys stink, and it gets into anything that they touch. We learned that.
Eva, polled is, so you have several different kind of or no, not Eva.
No.
I think that was Paula. Paul says, what does polled mean? So you have several different ways you can get your goats without horns. One is polling, and the way you have to do it young. I mean, you can do it at an older age, but it hurts them. We don't really agree in polling, but there is a natural, what they call naturally polled, which means that they're just born without horns. It's nothing that you do. They're just naturally polled. They don't have horns. And then you have others that naturally have horns. Hey, Gail, how are you?
That's one of the most impressive features. Angelina goes on the allotment, says they didn't know that goats were so complicated. Neither did we. And I'll be honest with you, when we started going to goat sales, and we started going to goat sales and educational conferences 2 years before we ever actually bought our first goat, just so that we could determine, is this something that we really want to get into? And Lala has literally embraced the health aspect of goats. Like, I would put her up against most veterinarians in terms of just the amount of knowledge that she has. Our vet that we have, which is our farm vet, is a small ruminant expert. And there's not very many of them, but I would put her up against most standard vets that are just, kind of general knowledge vets, not a small ruminant expert.
Ed says if I pee on my beard, then I'm riding in the back of the truck from now on. So, my partner in crime won't let me even ride in the cab. I'm not putting pee on my beard. Chelsea already turned me down. She already nipped that in the bud. Hey, Kid Family Farm, how are you, buddy? Good
Eva
to see you, man.
Eva says right polled with horn, correct? What polled means is what Rick said. So you can debud them, and that's where you're actually taking. If you watch Dr. Pole on Animal Planet, they take these gigantic cutting pliers and they literally cut the buds off when they first come out of the head. So show one of them baby pictures, Rick.
But sometimes that does not. I'm not.
Show them baby pictures.
Hold on.
So that's disbudding. But what he's talking about is some of these Nigerians, and there's actually some Kikos. I've heard of a Kiko line that is naturally polled as well. But it's pretty popular in the Nigerian dwarf lines where you can have naturally polled animals. And you just got to be careful about who you breed those to and whether or not your babies are going to be polled or naturally polled or not polled.
So this right here actually might be a little bit early. This is one of our doelings, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of our doelings. But this actually might be still a little bit too late. I mean, you could still poll at this point. Disbud. You could still disbud at this point. But again, like Papa was saying, they come in with the pliers, and then I think who else was it? Somebody had said something. Lee's Arkansas bound. Debudding polling is a burning technique.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the goal is to get them as early as possible. Like I said, we don't do that. We don't poll. We actually find it much easier if they all have horns.
Yeah, this is
and you'll find that out the first couple times that you try to wrangle a goat without horns. It makes it way easier. We have one. She's in one of the photos. There she is right here. This goat right here is actually a Nubian. The one all the way over to the right, she is a Nubian, and she does not have any horns. And luckily for us, she's very, very, very people friendly. Because if it wasn't for her being people friendly, you couldn't even get hands on her. Yeah. You'd be trying to catch her by her back legs.
There'd be no way to control her.
Yeah. And so, like I said, luckily for us, she's very people friendly. So if you can get close enough to her, you can grab her by the back legs, or you can get a animal cracker, and she'll come right to you. But yeah, we find it way easier to handle goats with horns. Lala, she has plenty of scrapes and bruises and bumps on her body from especially the bucks, especially Chewy. It makes life way easier with the horns. You can just grab them by the horns. You can't do it whenever they're a baby because they're still pretty soft. But when they get older, you ain't hurting them by grabbing them by the horns. That's how we handle the bucks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I couldn't even imagine somebody, if we had one of our breeder bucks that somebody had.
You imagine trying to grabbing Einar or Jarl without horns?
I mean, it literally takes every ounce that Rick and or I have to keep them when we try to weigh them. And literally their horns are one side, is probably 4.5 inches wide at the base. They're monsters, and I just couldn't imagine not having something to hold on to.
It's hard to imagine working with them with horns, let alone without them.
That would be funny. So that's what's going on with the goats, and we talk. I didn't know this was going to morph into like an entire goat section or goat segment, but so we Michael Harris is not on here, and I don't know that anyone else on here is really going to understand even what I'm talking about. So the reason that
Lee's Arkansas bound.
Have a good one. The very specific reason that we breed when we breed, so that our kidding season starts literally January 1, and we time it intentionally because then we can take our bucks, the ones that really outperform the rest. So I think, how many we got, Ricky? 20?
Bucks or does? Bucks, we don't have quite 20. We probably got, there's probably 12 or 13 in there.
So we're measuring them constantly to determine which ones are outperforming the others, which ones are performing the best. So this year we've got 4 of them. So in 2 weeks, Rick and I are going up to West Virginia, and we're taking 4 of those bucks up to the University of West Virginia for a buck test, where we will leave them up there from May through August, and they will basically be subjected to a parasite resistance test to determine how their DNA, how their genetics stack up against another 100. I think there's 160, 170 goats in this.
Yeah,
test.
we're purposely going to give our bucks parasites.
Yeah, so we're taking 4 of them up to West Virginia. They will be infected with the barber pole worm, and then measure how well they fight that barber pole worm. Because if you're not familiar with that, that is one of the most deadly parasites for goats. That's what kills more goats than anything else, are barber pole worms. And I think we've got pretty 4 good resistant lines. So we're going to have that tested. So we're going to be taking them up there to do that. So
it's kind of weird when you think about it. We're taking our goats halfway to the north, and yeah, we're going to inject them with some parasites.
We're not. The researchers
we're not. They are. It's a controlled environment. So, but yeah, that'd be pretty cool to kind of see the results. Hey, Breakaway, how are you? So, Paula Wells. Paula. I have some news for you, sweetie. So, Free Handling Made, that's cool. I don't know how you did that, but Free Handling Made just did like some cool Christmas looking things on the Please Smash Thumbs Up.
I don't even know how you do that. That's kind of cool.
It's a whole bunch of characters. Anyway, so yeah, smash that thumbs up. But in reference to the house, Paula, we now have
I saw this coming.
We have furniture inside the house. We have emptied our entire storage unit. If you follow me on Facebook, I'm sure you saw that. But we have all of our storage unit cleaned out. We had to get rid of some things because unfortunately the storage unit, after almost a year of being in the storage unit, we had some critters that got in there and chewed up some holes in the couches, anything that was fabric. So we had to get rid of a lot of things. There was quite a bit of rat droppings. So me and Chelsea went ahead and we gave all the wood furniture a really good cleaning. And we have moved all of that inside. I got the kids' beds yesterday. I got me and Chelsea's bedroom furniture set up. We got all of our couches. Still got the TV sitting right in front of me in Lala and Papa's house. That'll be one of the last things to go over. That way the kids have something to occupy their time while we're here. We have the septic in. Very shortly, I'm going to go back there and just kind of show you guys, show you Paula. And but I'm going to go back there and kind of show you around. But we got the septic tank in. And then right before I came back here, they had a mini track excavator back there. And the excavator was digging like a 48-inch hole so they can put conduit in the ground and get the underground electric ran to the well, the sup pump with the septic, and the power pole out front. So I'll have hopefully inspections before the end of the week. And then they'll cover up the leach field. And then after the leach field, we'll get another inspection once Okefenokee turns the power on. And then they'll put skirting in. We'll get our certificate of occupancy. Get Comcast out there so I could do this back there. And yeah, so not too much longer. Everybody's ready. The kids are ready to kind of have their own room. Lala and Papa want some privacy, and me and Chelsea are ready to cook and eat when we please, and just kind of like I said, get some privacy and everybody's ready for it. So that's the update. No photos, no pictures yet. You'll have to wait until that video. But I know that I know you've been wanting to know what's going on, Paula. So there you go.
So Rick's grandparents, my New York family joined in. So Edward George, that's Rick's grandparents from
those are some Northerners.
Western New York. Those are some trained snow drivers right there. They were with me when I almost drove off the road up there.
They're right there. They're right there with you, Eva. Eva said her 4-wheel drive stays in 4-wheel drive all winter long. Yeah, so does Nina and Papa's. They got a I don't know what Nina's driving now. I think she's still in the Toyota, but yeah, they pretty much stay in 4-wheel drive all winter. So
yeah, Eva, my in-laws are only about an hour away from you. Jesus is Lord. Howdy, neighbor. Gail's Southern Living. Gail, right now I haven't been planting anything. I've been working in the garden, but not in the garden. No, I've been working. A better way to put it, I've been working on the garden, not in the garden. So we
had some issues with our automatic waterers.
Yeah.
So we ran some pipe over to one side of the garden, and got everything ran PVC tied in. As y'all know, if you followed, learn with Papa the gardening playlist, you've noticed whenever he did his walk around of the garden, we already have water ran to the garden with, I think it's 4 sections, right, Dad?
Yeah, there's 4.
Yeah, 4 sections that come up out of the ground and that have nozzles on them. Well, the plan is to go ahead and put filtration devices on each one of those to kind of get the sediment out of the water. That way it doesn't clog up the hoses. The
emitters.
What do they call them?
Emitters.
No, not the emitters. I thought you were putting drip irrigation.
The drip irrigation.
Emitters. Yeah, emitters. So they don't close, so they don't clog up the emitters. We got a filter on it, and then there's going to be a timer. Because as of right now, Papa, after a very long day, and me after a very long day, and Nene has been helping substantially with getting that done. Going out there and helping Papa water, because it's about an hour-long adventure every afternoon with the heat that we have down here. And there's a lot of foliage, and there's a lot of green. And so to get the proper amount of water, it takes about an hour. And so the sooner we can get that done, the sooner we can stop going out there every afternoon and watering.
That's why I haven't put in, I hope to have your seeds in, Eva, the giant pumpkin seeds, hopefully by the end of May, middle of June. Is my hope. So that way we'll have some gigantic pumpkins, and we will have a goat feast with pumpkins this upcoming fall, as well as and we're gonna have like a giant pumpkin carving Highland homestead celebration of our pumpkin days. So Kyle, Little Rick, have you tried Paula's salsa yet?
Yes, I have tried Paula's salsa. I like a very, very, very chunky salsa, but I can tell you this much: that salsa had a ton of flavor. So yes, I enjoyed the salsa. Like I said, I like a really, really, really chunky salsa. I don't think Papa could get enough of it whenever he was trying it, though. So awesome. It was very, very good. Like I said, lots and lots and lots of flavor. It was just not chunky enough.
I felt bad taking all of that salsa, Kyle.
Yeah.
Hopefully Paula makes you more.
Oh, it'll get eaten. I guarantee you that. Yeah, we're too big not to eat something. So, what else we got, Dad?
Well, so here's I gave the update last week on the kittens, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, that's so awesome!
This is hilarious."
Really cool. So I don't know if we got kittens or not, and here's why I'm saying that. So everybody knows we got 4 feral cats when October, Ricky, or so. October.
Yes.
Probably 4. We got 4 feral cats. We got them from a woman on Facebook marketplace was giving cats away. So we got these 4 feral cats, brought them home, put them into a cage, and they would not come near you, or at least 3 of the 4 would not come near you. So they were in there for about 2.5 to 3 months. We let them out around the beginning of January, and we immediately went and got the males fixed. We were going to get the females fixed as well, but they took longer because it's a longer procedure. Well, between the time that we got them 2 males fixed and we were scheduled to get the 2 females fixed, the females just started gaining a lot of weight, both of them. And they both looked
Really
like
fast.
they both looked like they had softball in their stomach, that they had eaten the softball. And Lala says the cats are pregnant. I said, there's no way those cats are pregnant. They don't leave the farm, and the boys are fixed. Well, both the females were pregnant. So the first one, what's that one's name? The white one? What's that white one's name? The friendly one. I can't remember.
Tiger.
Tiger. So Tiger is the first one to give birth. She gave birth in the back of an old pickup truck that I have, and in the process of moving those cats, we think she killed them. So she gave birth to 4. Within 5 days, all 4 of those cats were dead. The next week, though, Kiki, her sister, gave birth, and she gave birth to 8. And
I'm gonna reset my StreamYard again. It's still lagging really bad.
So she gave birth to 8 kittens the following week. So I go out there and we're making sure that Kiki can feed all these, and they're balled up. And now, so this was as of last week's live stream. So Kiki is on one side, Tiger's on the other, and the 8 kittens are in the middle. So now there's like a really bad echo opportunity. So all 4 of these kittens are in the middle of these 2 sister mothers, and they're nursing off of both mothers, Kiki and her sister, who had lost all of her kittens. And so everything was hunky-dory, fine. And then we go out there one morning, all the kittens are gone, but the 2 mamas are out there waiting for their food. So they're out there somewhere, but they've moved them again, and we just can't find them. From time to time, we'll hear them, but we don't know where they're at. They've taken them and hidden them somewhere, but both sisters are feeding them, and I just find that pretty amazing. Nature's cool.
Did you tell them about them traveling back and forth, not being able to decide where to go?
Oh, yeah. And then they had,
that's the funny part.
This was Sunday, this last Sunday, there was this literal sister war. So Tiger was bringing them from this tall grass where Kiki was taking them, and she would carry them back, and she was taking them over by the goat chute where we weigh all of the goats. So Tiger would take them over there, and then they would pass each other. Tiger's bringing one over, and Kiki's taking one back to the tall grass. And they kept doing this for 20 minutes until we stopped it. And then the next day, they were just all gone. So we really don't know where they're at. They're somewhere out in the goat yard, but we can't tell you where. So when we get an update, we'll let you know. So, my Alabama farm life, back on the road, but still listening. So Kathleen, we're home. So next time you head over this direction, when you were coming through, that's the last weekend when we were up in Missouri. So we were not able to be here. But next time you come over here to Jacksonville, make sure you let us know, and we'll take you and give you some Northeast Florida barbecue. That'll be good. What else, Rick?
Give me a second. I'm looking for something.
No, okay. We got some. What else we got? We got. Been working on putting the workshop together because it's getting warm out there. So hopefully we'll be able to finish up the garden next month. I was looking at, am I going to build some more raised beds similar to what's out there, meaning I've now got to go buy more aluminum or more steel and more wood. And anyone that's gone out there and tried to price the cost of wood, the same box that a year ago would have cost me about $50. Right now, to build that same box would cost me about $150. So we're actually going to put in, I've bought some steel boxes, is what we're going to finish the interior with. So those are on order. Those should be here next month. And so we'll do a review on those, called Birdie's Raised Beds is what those are. And really, really good quality metal beds is what those are going to be. So what else? Grab some pallets where you can for wood. Paula, we've got lots and lots of pallets. I got an unlimited supply of pallets, as many as I want. And we're actually going to be doing some of that this weekend. Rick was talking about his furniture and stuff and getting all that moved in. I told Madeline wants to build her bed. So we're actually going to build her bed. It's going to have little cubbies going around the footboard and going down the sides. And then we're actually going to build her headboard. And we're building the headboard out of scrap pallets, painting them. And then I'm going to run them through my surface planer to take some of that spray paint off. So she's really excited. So we'll probably start working on that. We'll probably do a video of that coming together, but that will be her bed that she's gonna use once they get moved in. So she's looking forward to that. What else? Anybody got any questions for us?
I have 3 trivia questions. I have 3 trivia questions. Those 3 trivia questions. Each trivia question, we have stickers, right, Dad?
We got stickers. Yeah, like our.
We'll mail you out a sticker.
No, we got stickers. But
we got stickers.
If you want me to mail you out a sticker, you got to send me your mailing address. And Gail, I got your email today. I just haven't responded. I've been busy working. So anybody that wants a sticker, shoot me. I mean, and this goes for you too.
Well, you're giving away my prize right now, Dad, for free. Let's do that in the next live.
All right, we'll do that.
We're just going to play a trivia game. So
I got your email, Gail.
All right. So there is one fruit that the seeds are on the outside. What one fruit is that? See, if you give away all the stickers, or say we're going to give them out for free, then we're going to end up having to give T-shirts, and that's a lot of money.
No, really good.
So we're on a budget right now. All right, the one fruit that has there we go. All right, Paula Wells.
Like everybody's getting that.
Yeah,
Matt got it. You want to see a really cool video? Maybe you won't find it cool, but I found it really, really cool. Is Matt Kidd crawling around in his water cistern? I thought that was really, really cool. Go check out Mac's cistern video, and then also check out Jan, because she's planting food in her shoes.
You know what? Oh, planting the plants in her shoes.
Go check out Jan's boots.
Yep.
Those boots are made for planting, Jan.
Oh Lord.
Those boots are made for planting.
And you say my dad jokes are awful. Speaking of that, I wanted to go out on a diet. Because I've been, gaining a little bit of weight, but I feel like I just have way too much stuff on my plate right now.
Rick.
No, come on. That was funny.
It was funny.
Okay. Well, you didn't laugh.
I snickered.
All right. So next one is another. The cistern is my nemesis.
But it's a really cool nemesis to have. That would make
I mean, Papa has Rose. Yeah. So, all right. So let's see. So Paula Wells won the first one. What is the only vegetable that I can think of What is the vegetable that I'm thinking of that whenever it reaches the grocery store, you will not find it frozen, you will not find it canned, you will not find it processed in any way whatsoever? There's only one that I can think of. So
this is coming from your knowledge bank.
some of it, yeah, that one is. That's not. I mean, it's when you think about it,
this would never ever pass Jeopardy.
It would.
It would, because the fact checkers would like ding it.
You can fact. Nope. You get frozen potatoes, and that's processed because potatoes you can get in French fry form. You can get them in tater tots. So, yep. This is something that you'll.
A veggie?
It is a veggie. I think I said a veggie. It is a veggie.
This is a homesteading group, though. So they
kale. No, you can get frozen kale. You can get frozen spinach. You can get frozen kiwi.
Celery.
Celery might be one, but I think you can get. I think you can get
Gail just upset your apple cart.
Yeah. What I would say was romaine lettuce. You can't. It's because it's all water. You can't freeze it. Whenever it come out, it'd be all mushy. You don't find it canned. So, yep, I would say celery. Yeah, I could see celery being one of those. All right, so I'm gonna give who's that one? That was Gail.
That was Gail. Gail's getting a sticker anyway. Against.
Yep, Gail's. All right, and then my third one, I pulled this one off. I actually ran across this one the other day. This one's actually pretty cool. It was. What makes up 30%? Who makes up 30% of all farmers today? 30%? Who makes up?
30%?
Yeah, they make up 30% of today's farmers. Who?
Women.
Who said that?
Women.
Why would you say that? That's the answer. You're not supposed to give them the answer. Yes.
Stickers for all.
All right. Well, Papa just bought a round of stickers.
I thought you were talking about. No kidding. That's interesting.
Yep. 30% of Gail says Florida.
Gail says Jan needs new boots.
Yeah. Yes, women make up 30% of all of farmers nowadays. That's pretty cool. Little woman fact thrown in there.
Who said it before Papa?
I think Kid got it. Kid got it. He didn't get it before you. He got it right after you. He probably said it before you, but StreamYard didn't tell me. So until after the fact.
Well, that was fun. If you want a sticker, shoot me an email with your address.
So
you get one automatically, Gail. I got your address.
But I really this was fun. Another kind of on the fly, no plan really, no topics, just let's get in here and talk to everybody and see what topics y'all want to talk about. So some things that are going to be coming up here, Papa just walked. Come on, dogs, go away. Go. Papa just put out a whole bunch of bee stuff. We do have some more hives that are under the garden structure right now that we'll be putting out into the bee. What was that? Was that Boone's head?
Boone hitting his head.
Oh man,
that
sounded like metal hitting metal. But Papa will be moving some more bees out into the bee yard, what he has been calling the bee yard. Right now, I don't think we have 4. I think we have 3. I think we have 3 hives. I'm pretty sure there's 2 separate hives that are in the garden house, little storage area. So we'll be moving those over. We're also going to be planting some seed. It's one of those things that I think I had planned on doing it 3 weeks ago, or at least starting some of it. It really needs to happen though, because we're getting a lot of rain. We're actually going to be heading into hurricane season, and that's really not the time to be planting seed. But getting some seed planted in the doe pasture. I have the house that I'll be doing some type of vlog style video on, kind of giving you guys an update. The
Hey,
bees.
Rick, thanks for stopping by, buddy. It's good to see you. I appreciate your talking. Those who find the time to stop by despite working crazy schedule. Thank you so much. So, be well, friend.
When is hurricane season down there? When it gets hot.
Yeah.
You'll know that it's hurricane season because every single year it's getting really, really close now.
Yeah.
Every single afternoon, without fail, it will rain. Every single afternoon. There's no point in watering your garden, because if your garden is outside, it will water it for you. Every single day you're going to get rain, and that makes it really, really, really interesting to mow 20 acres because it just stays wet. But once hurricane season starts, unless you do a really, really, really heavy seeding, you're going to end up having really, really large bare spots. So right now is definitely the time where we need to get the seeding done. So that'll hopefully be that's Florida for us. Yep, that's right.
So, Kyle, I just asked Mr. Google. June 1st to November 30th is what Mr. Google is saying. So,
and it is May.
Seems like it's the whole darn year.
It more or less is. I mean, you're 6/1/2021, and that'll last all the way up till I think it's like the second week of November.
Yeah.
And they say, well, it's worse at certain parts and all this kind of stuff. It don't matter. We've seen awful hurricanes in July, and we've seen awful hurricanes like the last month of December. It's getting cold, and we have a hurricane. So it really just depends on what the Atlantic is doing and what the Gulf is doing, and that's that. So they're predicting a bad season. Well, hey. If it's anything like 2020 and 2021 has been, it wouldn't surprise us at all. So,
all right, bud. It's about.
We're about an hour. We're gonna cut this one short. Usually we run about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit the hay. Plus, I think I still have to pick up Madeline from church. So, you guys have a really, really good night. Thank you so much for joining us on the live stream. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time.
If you want stickers, send me an email.
Yep, Papa's giving away stickers.
With your address.
It's Lala at thelalafarm.com is the email address that you guys need to send us an address to receive those stickers. So,
all right, folks. Good night. This was fun. Enjoyed talking.
Always treat others as you would like to be treated. Bye, guys.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.